since 2015, ArtForce Iowa has hosted an annual youth art exhibit. This year, our theme is Credo. What this means is, what do you believe in? It's a declaration of what you believe, but not only is it what you believe in, but it informs the actions that you have to really reflect what those things are that you do believe in. So as we've gone through and shared all of the different creeds that our ArtForce Iowa family has, we hope that this will encourage you to find your value and then to create a creed where you can live and reflect the things that you believe in. Hi, my name is Christine Herr, and I'm the Executive Director of ArtForce Iowa. I would consider my creed to be, I value joy, and therefore I will live authentically. To me, my creed means being able to show up as your true self. And for me, being able to show up as my true self gives me the greatest joy. When I first started to put this creed together, I was very confused and felt like, oh my goodness, I don't have a creed. And then we did a workshop together with the ArtForce Iowa team. And I remember specifically 2 team members who said, hey, here's how I thought about my creed. I can either think of it as, deciding what it is that I value and basing it off of my value, or thinking about the things that are important to me. So thinking of what that value means, what are the actionable items around that value, and creating a creed that way. So for me, that is how I was able to form this creed. So my number one value is joy, and I feel like my creed is all about joy. It's all about living purposefully and living authentically, because to me, living that way is the most joyful way I can live my life. So to me, my creed and my value, they're kind of the same thing. I feel like the last 2 years, because of the pandemic, things have been really difficult. So for me, when I thought about what is something that I really value right now, it was easy for joy to float to the top. Because the world has been in a sad place, I wanted to make sure that I took time and I made space for joy. And that's how joy became my new value. It's something that is pretty new to me because my previous value was purpose. But I'm learning that if I live within my purpose, it's also giving me a lot of joy, so I can have a little bit of both. So I feel like I can live in my creed day to day because I choose to show up as myself wherever I go. I tell people all the time, Executive Director Christine Herr and Christine Herr, who poops at home, they're the same people. So for me, being able to just show up and let people know that this is who I am, regardless of what role I'm in or what hat I wear, it just gives me so much freedom to be able to show up and be myself. And I hope that it invites other people around me to feel like they too can show up and live authentically and live purposefully. And hopefully that brings them joy the way it does for me. I would say if I had to describe my creed with an art form, I'm going to be biased because I'm a musician and a singer-songwriter, but I would choose music. If you don't have no words, that's okay. If it's just music in itself, I feel like you don't need to have a language to understand the meaning or to find your own meaning in a song. So for me, my creed would be in the form of some kind of goofy song that maybe is playing when you're walking around the world, kind of like your own narrative song. I feel like if people were able to show up and be their truest selves, then we would have a world where people could walk around with 10 toes down versus wobbling from foot to foot because you have to change and be someone different depending on where you're at. To me, I really believe that if people were able to show up as themselves, live purposefully, whatever that purpose means to them, that it would bring joy into their life, and maybe we wouldn't have all of these problems like mental health issues, depression, not being accepted, being judged. I think if we could just show up as ourselves and allow each other to show up that way, those things wouldn't be here in the world, and we would have communities where people are loved and accepted and not judged. So I think my creed could do a lot of great work. So this is my zine. As you can see, it says how to honor joy. And I purposefully chose to use more like black and white versus a lot of color. I think I have one page in color, so I'm excited to show everybody this. So as you can see, this is like a sun kind of rising up. To me, joy is my number one value. So I wanted to help other people find ways to honor joy for themselves. But everything that I have in here might not work for you, and that's okay. Just find what makes you feel joyful. On this first page, I have something called Rest Up. I am always working, and I had to remind myself to just rest. And I think resting is really good for you. Like, not only is it good for you mental health wise, but it's good for your physical body. So for me to feel joy, I also need to be able to rest up. On this next page, I have choose peace. I'm learning that sometimes having the last word might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't actually make you feel good in the long run. So for me, in order for me to feel joy, I want to be able to honor myself by choosing peace. This next page is kind of fun. It's like a long journey of different things that I think bring me peace. Maybe it's the same for you. If you all know what this is, then that means this is probably on your way to experience joy. This is The Sims. So I like to play The Sims to have some joy. And then I have music. I have different kinds of food here. So I have dumplings, I got cake, I got shrimp, I got noodles. I got a banana split, some rice, some pot stickers, all of the food that makes me really happy. And then on this side of this corner, I have a bunch of little hearts because all of the people that I love, this includes like the whole ArtForce Iowa family, and then my husband and my niece and my nephew. So they're the ones who made this. There's more people who bring me joy, but I chose to just draw these folks because they're in my everyday life and they're people who I connect with that make me feel love and make me feel joy. And then I have this over here, which is a fun map because I love to travel, and traveling and exploring the world gives me a lot of joy. And then now this is my one page that has color. This is an important page to me because each color is associated with a different feeling, a different emotion. And it says, feel all the emotions, but make space for joy. And I think if you don't know what you're feeling, it's really hard to make space for joy. So I chose some of the feelings that I was feeling in that moment and put them on the zine. And then this last one is live with purpose. It's the most important one to me to experience and feel and honor joy. So whatever that means for you to live with purpose, it's going to be right for you. So for me, I'm happy that I get to be here at ArtForce Iowa with an amazing group of people where I can live out my purpose to create opportunities for young people to make art. That's my zine. We hope to see you here to join us for No Justice Credo at Mainframe Studios next Friday in Studio 245 from 5 to 8 p.m. Come explore and experience what young people in Iowa say their creeds are. And maybe you can find out what your creed is on that day as well. Join us then.